Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayat. Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamalini Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangri. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, verses 36 to 45. King Chitraketu meets the Supreme Lord. Text 35. Text 35. My dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance, and annihilations are all about your opulences. Since Lord Brahma and other creators are nothing but small portions of the portion of you, their partial power to create does not make them God, Ishvara. Their cosmic manifestation, consciousness of themselves as separate lords in therefore merely false prestige. It is not valid. Text 36. You exist in the beginning, middle, and end of everything, from the most minute particles of the cosmic manifestation, the atom, to the gigantic universe and the total material energy. Nonetheless, you are eternal, having no beginning, end, and middle. You are perceived to exist in these three phases, and thus you are permanent. When the cosmic manifestation does not exist, you exist as the original potency. Text 37. Every universe is covered by 7 layers: earth, water, fire, air, sky, and the total energy and false ego, each 10 times greater than the previous one. They are innumerable universes beside this one, and although they are unlimitedly large, they move about like atoms in you. Therefore, you are called unlimited, Ananta. Text 38. O Lord, O Supreme, unintelligent persons who thirst for sense enjoyment and who worship various demigods are no better than animals in the human form of life. Because of their animalistic propensity, they fail to worship your lordship, and instead they worship the insignificant demigods, who are but small sparks of your glory. With the destructions of the entire universe, including the demigods, the benedictions received from the demigods also vanish, just like the nobility when a king is no longer in power. Text 39. O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desire for sense gratification through material opulences worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities. They are they are not subject to material rebirth, just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants. Living entities are subjected to the repetitions of birth and death because they are conditioned by material nature. But since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escape the conditions of the material nature. Text 40. O unconquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavata Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desires, like the Kumaras, who are self-satisfied sages, worship you to be liberated from the material contaminations. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavata Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. Text 41. Being full of contradictions, all forms of religions but Bhagavata Dharma work under conceptions of fruitive results and distinctions of you and I, and your and mine. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam had no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious. thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. There are others, low-class religious system which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gains of mystic powers. But such religious system, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of irreligion. Text 42. How can a religious system that produces envy of oneself and of other be beneficial for oneself and for them? What is auspicious about following such system? What is actually to be gained by causing pain to one's own self due to self envy, and by causing pain to others one arouses your anger and practice irreligion. Text 43. My dear Lord, one's occupational duty is instructed in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita according to your point of view, which never deviates from the highest goal of life. Those who follow their occupational duties under your supervision, being equal to all living entities, moving and non moving, and not considering high and low, are called Aryans. Such Aryans worship you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 44. My Lord, it is not impossible for one to be immediately free from all material contaminations by seeing you, not to speak of seeing you personally, merely by hearing the holy name of your Lordship only once. Even Chandalas, men of the lowest class, are free from all material contaminations. Under the circumstances, who will not be freed from the material contamination simply by seeing you? Text 45. Therefore, my dear Lord, simply seeing you has no whipped away all the contaminations of sinful activities and their results of material attachments and lusty desires, which always filled my mind and the course of my heart. Whatever is predicated by the Whatever is predicted by the great sage Narada Muni cannot be otherwise. In other words, I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by Narada Muni. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
And thank you so much, Swami Gopmataji. Hare Krishna. Vamsi was improved. Whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Just share my screen. Okay. Just start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Let me just open up the verses. Starting from text 36. So the background is Chitraketu Maharaj has got the darshan, has obtained the darshan of Lord Sankarshan. And the prayers are continuing. So in text 36, uh, Chitraketu Maharaj is glorifying Lord Sankarshan that he is the beginning, middle, and end of everything. And Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport from the Brahma Samhita prayers, Advaitam Achyutamanadimananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Translation of this prayer: I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person, absolute, infallible, without beginning. Although expanded into unlimited forms, still the same original, oldest, and person, always appearing as fresh youth. Nava Yavanam cha. Krishna is Nava Yavanam, and all his expansions are Nava Yavanam. And the most important part of this shloka that Srila Prabhupada is highlighting in his purport is Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto. Simply by studying the Vedas and being a scholar, we cannot understand Krishna. Not possible. Durlabam. Vedeshu Durlabam. It's very difficult to understand Krishna even by studying the Vedas. But the same Durlab becomes Adurlabam. How? Prabhupada is saying, but they are always manifest to the pure unalloyed devotees. That is the only way to understand Krishna, is to hear submissively from a pure unalloyed devotee. Otherwise, Vedas are durlabh. Even if we have all the Vedic texts, we have access to all the Shastra, even the books that Srila Prabhupada has given to us. If we simply study to understand by our own mental concoction, we won't be able to understand Krishna. Not possible. Durlabham, adurlabham atma bhakto. In fact, in one class of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada starts shedding tears. He starts remembering his spiritual master when he quotes this verse. That much love and affection he has for his Guru. The descent of the Lord into the atom and the universe indicates that without his presence, nothing could factually exist. Then Srila Prabhupada goes to give example that scientists, they say that everything is a formation of chemicals. But since Krishna or Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all causes, he can produce immense quantities of chemicals to create a situation for chemical evolution. We can actually see that chemicals are produced from living entities. And Prabhupada is giving an example. Srila Prabhupada always backs up with something for us to relate in this world. For example, a lemon tree produces many tons of citric acid. A citric acid is not the cause of the tree. Rather, the tree is the cause of the citric acid. Similarly, Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of everything. He is the cause of the tree that produces the citric acid. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. Devotees can see that the original potencies causing the cosmic manifestation are not in chemicals, but in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For he is the cause of the chemicals. And in the end, so the essence of this verse is Krishna is the cause of all the energies. And this is what Chitraketu Maharaj is saying, that you exist in the beginning, middle, and the end of everything. From the most minute particle of the cosmic manifestation, the atom, to the gigantic universes and the total material energy. Krishna is existing throughout the length and breadth of this creation. We don't have the realization, but that is the verdict of the Shastra. All the pure devotees, they see Krishna everywhere. That is because they have the realization that Krishna exists everywhere. And in text 37, each universe is covered by 7 layers: earth, water, fire, air, sky, the total energy, and false ego. Each 10 times greater than the previous layer. We saw in the fifth canto, right? All the structure of the universe is explained. And these are the final 7 layers a yogi has to penetrate before entering into the spiritual sky. There are innumerable universes besides this one, and although they are unlimitedly large, they move like small atoms in you. Therefore, you are called unlimited Ananta. And Srila Prabhupada again quotes Brahma Samhita prayers. This Brahma Samhita prayers is very, very dear for Gaudiya Vaishnavas because this is found by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was there in South India. When he went to the Adi Keshava temple and he collected these prayers from the devotees there. And then he made a copy, personal copy of these prayers, and he brought it back to Jagannath Puri and distributed to all the devotees in Puri, and then it went to Navadvip as well. So we are getting these prayers through Srila Prabhupada, who is also very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the word kala refers to a plenary portion of a plenary portion. Yasvaika nishvasita kalam atavalambyak. Vishnur Mahan sa iha yasya kala vishesho. Kala means portion of a plenary portion of a portion. And Srila Prabhupada then quotes how all the expansions and expansions and expansions arise from Krishna. From Krishna comes Balaram, Lord Balaram. From Balaram comes Sankarshan. From Sankarshan, Narayana. From Narayana, the second Sankarshan. And from the second Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu comes Garbhodakashai Vishnu. And from Garbhodakashai Vishnu comes Shirodakashai Vishnu, who controls every universe. This gives an idea of the meaning of Ananta, unlimited. What is to be said of the unlimited potency and existence of the Lord? So, in essence is Krishna is there everywhere. The last two verses, 36 and 37, is Krishna is covering even the material energy is a manifestation of Krishna. All the layers that Chitraketu Maharaj is explaining in this verse. The innumerable universes besides this one, and although they are unlimitedly large, they move like atoms. We saw in the fifth canto, Krishna's expansions of expansions of expansions as Ananta, as Sheshanag, he is there. And on his hood, all the universes are there like small mustard seeds on his head. That is how insignificant every universe is. And Prabhupada also quotes a verse from Bhagavad Gita, Ekam Shena Stito Jagat. I remember Sri Krishna Prabhuji used to always quote this verse many years ago. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. This is from 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 42. That is why Krishna is called Ananta. And by the way, Chitraketu Maharaj is not speaking this of theoretical knowledge, at least like myself. Chitraketu Maharaj has actually has had darshan of Lord Sankarshan, and when somebody has darshan of Krishna, he knows everything. Bhagavad Gita explains in the 15th chapter. Anyone who knows Krishna knows everything. Yomam eva asammudo janati purushottamam. I forgot the verse. Sarva bhavena bharata. 15th chapter. That anyone who knows Krishna knows everything. Knows means not theoretically. Realized. Chitraketu Maharaj is a realized devotee now. In 38, O Lord, O supreme unintelligent persons who thirst for sense enjoyment and who worship various demigods are no better than animals in the human form of life. Chitraketu Maharaj we will see why he is very strong. If somebody is worshipping devatas or demigods, because of their animalistic propensities, they fail to worship your lordship. Instead, they worship the insignificant devatas who are but small sparks of your glory. What is Srila Prabhupada quotes from the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the verses 20 to 23, where Krishna very systematically explains why devata worship is not so intelligent. Kamaisasya hitajnana prapadyante anya devata. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender to demigods or devatas. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. It's because everyone wants something for their own gratification. And because the devatas are meant to give things easily to people, people go and worship the devatas. And when the demigods are vanquished, the benedictions given by the demigods to the unintelligent men are also vanquished. Therefore, a devotee should not hanker to obtain material opulence by worshipping the devatas, but should engage in the service of the Lord who will satisfy all his desires. When Kolavecha Sridhar was brought to Mahaprabhu in the Mahaprakash Leela, Mahaprabhu asked, I am so satisfied with you, ask me anything. Kolavecha Sridhar said, no, I don't want anything, Mahaprabhu. He said, no, I am so satisfied with you, you must ask me something. And Kolavecha Sridhar said, no. Mahaprabhu said, no, I want to give you something. Do you want all the facilities of this world? Kolavecha Sridhar said, no, I don't want anything. I will give you all the siddhis, the yogic powers. Kolavecha Sridhar said, no, I don't want anything. I only want to see you as Nimai, life after life. This is the nature of a pure devotee. But Prabhupada is saying in the purport, it doesn't matter. I am not in that state of Kolavecha Sridhar. Even if I have some material desires in this world, let's not go to any devata. Let's go to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada is quoting second canto, third chapter, verse 10. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether we are full of material desires, free from material desires, or a person who has broad intelligence must by all means worship the supreme whole personality of Godhead. Doesn't matter whether we are pure or impure, how much impurities I have in my heart, we have to go to Krishna. Because Krishna is very expert in dealing with any kind of devotee and purify that person. And Chitraketu Maharaj is saying a human being who is not interested in Krishna consciousness is called Dvipada Pashu, a two-legged animal, or Nara Pashu. And in text 39, if persons obsessed with material desires, same theme, for sense gratification through material opulence, worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth, just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants. So the point is, even if we have desires, if somebody goes to Krishna, we get purified. He's saying that he's using the word sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants. Prabhupada quotes in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance, activities, does not upon leaving the body takes his birth again in this material world, but attains Krishna's eternal abode. If Prabhupada writes, if one simply engages in Krishna consciousness to understand Krishna, hey, who is this Krishna? Like this famous German who came from Germany way back in the 30s, 1930s, and he was exploring different religions to understand about God. And he saw, Harinam Prabhu also always quotes this, right? He saw all the different kind of gods. And then finally he saw all the personalities are there, but only Krishna is holding just flute and Srimati Radharani is standing by next to him. He's just enjoying. He's not doing any work. He instantly thought, hey, who is this personality? All the others are doing something. Lord Shiva is holding beads in his hand and chanting the holy names. Every personality is doing something. But Krishna is not doing anything. Who is this Krishna? He surely becomes immune to the process of repeated birth and death. If we try to understand Krishna, as clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita, Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. Such a person, simply by engaging in Krishna consciousness, Krishna becomes he becomes quite fit to return home back to Godhead. We become fit. It's not that we immediately return back home back to Godhead. We qualify ourselves. The fact is that if one comes to Krishna consciousness, although he may have material desires, he becomes increasingly attached to the lotus feet of Krishna through associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How? by chanting his holy name. Srila Prabhupada is giving, that is the crux of the Krishna consciousness movement or the movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Supreme Lord and his holy name are identical. Thus, he becomes uninterested in attachment to material enjoyment. Detachment comes naturally for a person who's chanting the holy names. The perfection of life is to be uninterested in material enjoyment and interested in Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes elsewhere also, Bhakti Pareshanubhava Viraktiranyatacha. In the 11th canto, Srila Prabhupada quotes this in many purports that this is the test of a person who is practicing bhakti, is how much you are becoming disinterested in material enjoyment. Not to see others, but for ourselves, self-examination. If one comes to Krishna consciousness somehow or the other, even for material gain, the result is that he will be liberated. This is from the 7th canto, Srila Narmuni quotes, Kama Dveshat Bhayat Snehad. Whatever may be our, like the demons come with full of envy and fear in trying to kill Krishna and Vrindavan. But even they get some kind of mukti. But that is not favorable bhakti. But Sri Narmuni says it doesn't matter. Even the demons are getting so much. Imagine the devotees who are trying to approach Krishna in trying to serve him in a relationship. Text 40, O conquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavad Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. This is just a amazing purport, Srila Prabhupada writes. Srila Prabhupada starts with what is actually pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is we need to perform bhakti that is favorable for the pleasure of Krishna and without desires for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. And the second definition is from Narada Pancharatra, Sarva Upadi Vinir Muktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. One should be freed from all material designations and cleansed of all material contamination. He should be restored to his pure identity in which he engages his senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses. So this process of bhakti is to remove all the contaminations within our heart. And then one can engage in the service of Rishikesh, Krishna. And bhakti should be done favorably without any material profit or motives. We should not have any strings attached. Hey Krishna, I am chanting every day 16 hours, 2 hours and 16 rounds in the morning. Why you are not appearing? Why I am not able to have any taste in the holy name? I am practicing for so many years. Why is nothing is happening? Our acharyas explain that it is only by the mercy and will of Krishna, Krishna will appear. Not by our sadhana, not by our strength, that Krishna will appear in our life. Not possible. In fact, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he quotes that only, I think some Upanishad, even Srila Prabhupada writes in one of his purport, that only when Krishna so desires, he will appear in a devotee's life. Only when he desires. And this is called Bhagavad Dharma. This bhakti is called Bhagavad Dharma. What is Bhagavad Dharma? Without material aspirations. Even if I want liberation, that is material aspiration. Liberation from suffering, that's material aspiration. I don't want suffering, Krishna. That is material aspiration. What is actual bhakti? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. Aslishya va padaratam pinashnumam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tata va vidatha tu lampato mat prananata sueva naparaha. Doesn't matter, Krishna. You can kick me, you can kill me, you can embrace me. You can give me sometimes taste in the holy names. But most of the times nothing is happening. But still, Krishna, you are my Lord, life after life. This should be our aspiration in bhakti. And this is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is the process of religion enunciated by pure devotees, direct representatives of Krishna like Srila Narad Muni, Shukadev Goswami, and their humble servants in the disciplic succession. By understanding Bhagavad Dharma, one immediately becomes free from material contamination. Living entities who are part and parcel of Krishna are loitering in this material world suffering. when they are instructed by the Lord Himself about Bhagavad Dharma and they adopt it, that is a victory for Krishna. For he then reclaims these fallen souls. This is so amazing, right? Chitraketu Maharaj is saying that when the devotees go and deliver conditioned souls, it is nothing for us to become proud of that. Hey, I become a big devotee. I brought so many people to bhakti. He is saying it is victory for Krishna. A devotee following the principles of Bhagavad Dharma feels very much obligated to Krishna. We should feel so grateful. Right? The other day in Bhagavatam class also Mataji explaining, we need to have so much gratitude for everything that we are getting in the name of bhakti. He can understand the difference between life without Bhagavad Dharma and life with Bhagavad Dharma. And thus he ever remains obliged to Krishna. We can see ourselves. If bhakti factor is removed from our life, where will we be? Prabhupada is saying, simply by remembering this, we can remember to become grateful. Taking to Krishna consciousness and bringing fallen souls to Krishna consciousness is a victory for Krishna. And this should be our meditation while trying to extend Srila Prabhupada's mercy to others. And this is what is Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adokshaje Ahaituki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasitati. Unmotivated, even while extending Srila Prabhupada's mercy to others, there is no motivation for us. Hey, I will be this, whatever I do will be seen by others, or I'm doing so much seva, let me get some appreciation. That is all hetu. Ahetuki. No motivation should be there. Because it is victory for Krishna. Because we want to give pleasure and happiness to Radha and Krishna. When somebody brings some person who is not connected to Krishna yet to Krishna, it gives so much happiness to Radha and Krishna. That is what Srila Prabhupada is writing here. Victory for Krishna, not for us. And in text 41, being full of contradictions, all forms of religion but Bhagavad Dharma work under conceptions of fruitive results and distinctions of you and I, and yours and mine. Anything that is separate from Bhagavad Dharma, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, is based on you and yours and mine and you and I. And there is a problem with this. Prabhupada writes in the purport that if somebody is having this consciousness, it is full of envy. Saying that this is your religion, this is my religion. Only if you follow my religion, you will go to the spiritual kingdom. Otherwise, you go to hell. This is all based on envy. And Prabhupada writes, a person who's truly Krishna conscious. In Bhagavad Dharma, there is no question of what you believe and what I believe. This purport is a must study for all of us, even if you are practicing bhakti. Everyone must believe in Krishna and carry out his orders. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilana. Whatever Krishna says, whatever God says should be directly carried out. This is dharma, religion. See, all these words Prabhupada is saying, that means you have to follow. Sometimes we may not get direct orders from superiors or spiritual master always. They always repeat the words of Krishna, but we may not get direct orders sometimes. What to do? Srila Prabhupada is saying we must carry the orders of Krishna. If one is actually Krishna conscious, he cannot have any enemies. Something for us to meditate. We cannot be envious if we want to be Krishna conscious. Since his only engagement is to induce others to surrender to Krishna, how can he have enemies? If one advocates that so many so-called religions, Srila Prabhupada quotes all the religions, that this is the best religion, then there will be conflicts. And because this is based on envy, Srila Prabhupada says, because all this religion cannot last for long because they are full of envy. My belief, your belief. Everyone should believe in God and surrender unto Him. That is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is not concocted sectarian belief, for it entails research to find out how everything is connected to Krishna. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. Prabhupada goes on to quote the dictaphone that he uses. for translating Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and so many literatures. We are using this machine in the service of the Lord. It is Brahman. This is the meaning of Sarvakalam Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahman because everything can be used for the service of Krishna. Nothing is mithya, false. Everything is factual. And Bhagavad is called Sarvokrishta, the best of all religious systems, because those who follow Bhagavad Dharma are not envious of anyone. Pure Bhagavatas, pure devotees invite everyone without envy to join the Krishna consciousness movement. Um, Yudhishthira Maharaj was called Ajatashatru. Ajatashatru means he was non-envious. He was never envious to anybody. Duryodhan was completely envious to him. But Yudhishthira Maharaj's consciousness was he never saw Duryodhan to be envious to him. This is a sign of a pure devotee. They don't see, our acharyas explain that this world is a mirror of our consciousness. If I, Srila Prabhupada quotes that if I wear a purple color glass, everything will look purple in this world. If I wear a yellow color glass, everything will look yellow in this world. If I see that somebody is envious, that means I am having envy. This world is a mirror of our consciousness, of our consciousness. But the pure devotees don't see that anybody is envious, even though that person may apparently be envious. That is what we need to strive for. It's very difficult, but we need to pray to Krishna to give those qualities to us, because without that we cannot please Krishna. A devotee is therefore exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Suradam Sarva Bhutanam. He's a friend of all living entities. Therefore, this is the best of all religious systems. Whereas the so-called religions are meant for particular type of person who believes in a particular way. Such discrimination has no place in Krishna consciousness or Bhagavad Dharma. Srila Prabhupada writes, if we are having these kind of consciousness, we cannot be truly Krishna conscious. Truly, we cannot be Krishna conscious. In 42, how can a religious system that produces envy of oneself and of others be beneficial for oneself and for them? What is auspicious about following such a system? Chitraketu Maharaj is asking all these questions. And Prabhupada writes, any religious system, same theme as the previous verse, but the process of Bhagavad Dharma, service as an eternal servant of Krishna, is a system of envy of one's own self and others. Prabhupada goes on to quote the example of animal sacrifices. Such animal sacrifices are inauspicious both for the performer and for the animal. Although one is sometimes permitted to sacrifice an animal before goddess Kali and eat it instead of purchasing meat from a slaughterhouse, permission to eat meat after sacrifice in the presence of goddess Kali is not an order of Krishna. It is simply a concession for the miserable person who will not give up eating meat. It is meant to restrict his desire for unrestricted meat eating. Such a religious system is condemned. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Just give up all these concessions also. Just simply surrender unto me. I shall give you protection. Do not fear. That is the last word in religion, Prabhupada is writing. Finally, submitting towards God and Krishna. And other things in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that the yajna, so many sacrifices cannot be performed in today's age. Therefore, it is recommended that in this age, specifically, yajnair sankirtana praya yajanti hi sumedasaha. Those who have good intelligence satisfy the yajna purush, Vishnu, by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Envious persons, however, are condemned by Krishna, as Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 16 chapter, bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, anger, the demons become envious of Krishna, who is situated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion. Those who are envious, mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. So, following a system of religion that does not awaken one's Krishna consciousness is merely a waste of time and labor for us to really meditate on this statement. Srila Prabhupada is writing, even while practicing bhakti, we must strive to awaken our Krishna consciousness. Shrama eva hi kevalam, Srila Prabhupada writes. We cannot have all this enviousness in our heart. We should pray to Krishna. Text 43. Bhagavad Dharma, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, Bhagavad Dharma and Krishna Katha are identical. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to become a guru and preached the instructions of Krishna everywhere from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Puranas, Vedanta Sutra, and similar Vedic literatures. Aryans who are advanced in civilization follow the Bhagavad Dharma. And this must start from a very early age, right from childhood. Srila Prabhupada quotes Prahlad Maharaj. And Prabhupada says the members of human society who strictly follow the principles of Bhagavad Dharma and live according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are Aryans. If we follow the instructions of Krishna, we are Aryans. Men are killing trees, they are killing animals, and they are killing other human beings also, all for sense gratification. This is not Aryan civilization. And this verse 43 advises that everyone become a member of Aryan civilization and accept the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should conduct his social, political, religious affairs according to Krishna's instructions. We are spreading the Krishna consciousness movement to try to establish a society the way that Krishna wants it. This is the meaning of Krishna consciousness. We cannot artificially concoct the teachings of Krishna. We need to just give it as it is. We are therefore presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is and kicking out all kinds of mental concoction. When Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me, they comment that it is not Krishna to whom we surrender. Thus, they derive imaginary meanings from Bhagavad Gita. This is the problem Srila Prabhupada is quoting. And text 44, Chitraketu Maharaj says, My Lord, it is not possible for one to be immediately free from all material contamination by seeing you. Not to speak of seeing you personally, merely by hearing the holy name of your Lordship only once, even Chandalas, men of the lowest class, are freed from all material contamination. The glories of the holy name is mentioned in this verse. Srila Prabhupada quotes the 9th canto. When Durvasa Muni glorifies the devotees after he becomes humbled, Yennama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmala. Simply by hearing the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately purified. Therefore, in this age of Kali, when all people are very contaminated, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is recommended as the only means of improvement. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. And Prabhupada says in the purport, the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so powerful that if once heard without offenses, it can purify the lowest of men. Kirata Hundara Pulinda Pulkasha. Such men who are called Chandalas are less than Shudras, but they also can be purified simply by hearing the holy name of the Lord, not to speak of personally seeing the Lord. From our present position, the Supreme Personality of Godhead can personally be seen as a deity in the temple. The deity in the temple is not different from the Supreme Lord. Because we cannot see the Supreme Lord with our present blunt eyes, the Lord has kindly consented to come before us in the form we can see. Therefore, the deity in the temple should not be considered material. By offering food to the deity and by decorating and serving the deity, one gets the same result one derives from serving the Lord personally in Vaikuntha. This is a fact. My spiritual master, he says, if we want to see the deity as material, if we want to see the deity as something made of wood or stone, they will appear to us as wood or stone. But as our acharyas are telling, that the deity is not different from Radha and Krishna, deity is not different from Nitai Gaur Sundar, deity is not different from Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. If we have this consciousness and we serve them, they will reciprocate with the same feeling with us. And text 45 is the highlight of today's set of verses. This is the consciousness of all the Mahabhagavad devotees, all our acharyas, for all time to come. Not just Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas. All the Vaishnava acharyas have this mood always. Not only while speaking, but always they have this consciousness in their heart. Chitraketu Maharaj is speaking, therefore, my Lord, my dear Lord, simply by seeing you has now wiped away all contamination of sinful activities and their results of material attachment and lusty desires, which always filled my mind and core of my heart. Whatever is predicted by the great sage Narad Muni cannot be otherwise. In other words, I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by Narada Muni. Srila Prabhupada writes, see, Prabhupada uses very specific words. This is the process of the perfect way. One must take lessons from authorities like Srila Narad Muni, Srila Vyasadeva, Asita, and follow their principles. Then one will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead even with one's own eyes. One only needs training. And Srila Prabhupada quotes the very famous verse from Padma Purana, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grayam indriyai. With our blunt material eyes and our senses, we cannot perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if we engage our senses in the service of the Lord, how? According to the instructions of the authorities, it will be possible to see Him. As soon as one sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the sinful reactions in the core of one's heart are certainly vanquished. I actually wanted to read something, but it is already 7:45. I'll just give a summary. This statement of Srila Prabhupada reminds us of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu travels to South India and he goes to many places, delivering so many people and making them chant the holy names. And he goes to this place called Sriranga Kshetra, where he meets this Brahman Vaishnava. And this Brahmana is regularly reading the 18 chapters. I know many of us might have heard this many times, but this is so beautiful. The Brahmana regularly reads the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita in great transcendental ecstasy, and because he could not pronounce the words correctly, people used to joke about him. Due to his incorrect pronunciation, people sometimes criticized him and laughed at him, but he did not care. He was full of ecstasy due to reading the Bhagavad Gita and was personally very happy. Something for us to ponder. Sometimes we may hear something, you're not saying this properly or something like that. But this Brahmana was in so much happiness and ecstasy reading Bhagavad Gita, all 700 verses, just because his guru told him to do it. While reading the book, the Brahmana experienced transcendental bodily transformations. He was getting tears in his eyes, the hair on his body was standing on end, his body was trembling, he perspired as he read. Seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the Brahmana, my dear sir, why are you in such ecstatic love? Which portion of the Bhagavad Gita gives you such transcendental pleasure? The Brahmana replied, I am illiterate and therefore do not know the meaning of the words. Sometimes I read the Bhagavad Gita correctly, sometimes incorrectly. But in any case, I am doing this in compliance with the orders of the spiritual master. Exactly what Chitraketu Maharaj is saying. He cannot forget that it is only because of Srila Narad Muni he got darshan of Lord Sankarshan. The Brahmana continued, actually, I only see Lord Krishna sitting on chariot as Arjuna's charioteer. Taking the reins in his hand, he appears very beautiful and blackish. While seeing Lord Krishna sitting in chariot and instructing Arjuna, I am filled with ecstatic happiness. As long as I read the Bhagavad Gita, I simply see the Lord's beautiful features. It is for this reason that I am reading the Bhagavad Gita and my mind cannot be distracted from this. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the Brahmana, indeed, you are an authority in the reading of the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you know constitutes the real purport of the Bhagavad Gita. Imagine this Brahmana was an illiterate and Mahaprabhu is telling, you are an authority in Bhagavad Gita and whatever you constitute is the real purport of Bhagavad Gita. Why? After saying this, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced the Brahmana and the Brahmana, catching hold of the lotus feet of the Lord, began to cry. The Brahmana said, upon seeing you, my happiness is doubled. I take it that you are the same Lord Krishna. The mind of the Brahmana was purified by the revelation of Lord Krishna and therefore he could understand the truth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all details. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then taught the Brahmana very thoroughly and requested him not to disclose the fact that he was Lord Krishna himself. Srila Prabhupada is writing, And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us that this is the secret, the only secret for us is to engage our senses in the service of Krishna according to the instructions of the authorities. And Srila Prabhupada is guaranteeing with a stamp in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam that we will get darshan of Krishna. And we should have faith in Srila Prabhupada. Many think, oh, Srila Prabhupada is just giving some basics for us. He's not giving anything high. He's not giving very intricate details of Radha and Krishna. Srila Prabhupada is not an ordinary acharya. And there have been and there are devotees of Srila Prabhupada, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who have got darshan of Krishna, who have done menial service for Krishna, for Srila Prabhupada and followed his instructions properly. So by seeing them, we should have faith. I don't have darshan today, but we should have the faith that by following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and his wonderful disciples, Prabhupada has created so many moons. By simply following their instructions, we should have faith. And I will stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
I have a small question. Is it okay to ask Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, as you mentioned, like we serve Krishna in the temple is same as serving in Vaikunta, but not all the devotees get the opportunity to serve Krishna in the temple. And if we serve the deities at home, is the same result too? And or not all the devotees have initiated deities. So can you please explain, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. So this again we can connect that this statement that you asked, that if we worship deities at home, it may not be same as temples. The temple standards are different. But we can connect everything to this one line that Srila Prabhupada writes in this last purport, that we have to keep meditating on ourselves, is serving Krishna not according to our whims, but according to the instructions of the authorities. Whether I am serving the deities in the temple or at home, or I am sweeping the floor in the temple, or I am preaching Bhagavad Gita, the message of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, or I am doing some menial cooking service in the temple for the deities or to the devotees, any service, the consciousness that we need to have is, did I confirm this with my authorities and my spiritual master to do this service? Am I doing this to please them? Because if I'm not pleasing them, my spiritual master says, if I'm not pleasing the spiritual master, whatever we do is not pleasing to Krishna. What is the praman of this? We sing every day in the morning. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada na kati kutopi. Whatever we do, if we please Guru, we please Krishna. If we don't please Guru, whatever we do is not pleasing to Krishna. It may be on the eyes of everyone, it may seem like bhakti, but it is not bhakti. Krishna, this is the secret of pleasing Krishna, is to please Krishna through his devotees, whom he loves. And that applies to all services that we do. And at home, again, so the home deity worship needs to be authorized by the authorities or the spiritual master. Then it becomes non-different than the worship of the deities in the temple. It is non-different if we truly have that faith. So if somebody is worshipping, we should not judge or comment them, but we cannot deny the words of the acharyas, because the acharyas have left the standard for us that anything we do in bhakti should be with blessings. And if you do any service with blessings, Krishna is pleased. He's very happy. In fact, our acharyas say that if we see a smile in the face of our spiritual master or our authorities, then which means that Krishna is smiling. We may not have the faith or the realization of that, but this is the fact. This is what Prabhupada also is saying, that if we serve under the direction of authorities and the spiritual master, then Krishna is pleased. And that is how it needs to be. So if somebody is not getting opportunities to serve in the temple on the deities, and if they have the permission to worship deities at home, it is non-different. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. But if it's not initiated deities also, it's fine, Prabhuji? Because not all the devotees have the initiated, like installed deities.
Yeah. So initiation, yes. Again,
No,
whether a person is second initiated or those are all details again. So it again depends on the authority. If the authority says you worship, we worship. If the authority says you wait, we wait.
Good morning, Leslie. No, Prabhuji, this one, the installed deities, like if have installed deities, so some people does not have it. It's the same as if they don't have it also, that's fine to worship. The pictures like that.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Krishna says that if even a picture is a form of Krishna in the 11th canto. So it is all finally matter of faith, Mataji. Bhakti is all about faith. Whether I'm initiated, whether I'm doing this or not, finally a person, faith comes by following instructions. A person may not be initiated, but does it mean that if they're offering the bhoga to a picture of Gauranitai or Radha and Krishna, they are not accepting? They will accept. It all depends on the person who's offering that bhoga in faith. So faith matters. So if a person may not be initiated. I mean, I got initiated after so many years, right? Several years. But I heard this from a very advanced Vaishnava. He was saying that it all depends on the faith of the devotee. The devotee has faith that I am cooking for their pleasure and I'm offering, and they're offering in with faith and love. Krishna will accept. So that is a point. But that doesn't deny the underlying statement that we have to take a guidance from
Morning, Lisa.
authorities. Is that okay, Mataji?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.